week and a half ago, or maybe 2 weeks. I don't remember the exact timetable, honestly, but the new map Shrubland was introduced, and it was introduced in the Empire Wars ladder, and we already have the smallest version ever of this map. Welcome. We've got Shrubland, and the players that have been competing for hours now on these maps continue to compete. We've got Beery, who's playing as the Malay here in the red. He is up against Prisma, who's playing in the blue. And again, smallest possible version of this map. Players are right next to each other. And players at this point understand that the opponent is going to try and steal anything they can. I think Prisma's trying to push an Ostrich away from him. He is trying to push an Ostrich out of the corner of the map. And Beery's like, no, get away, you nerd. Get out of here. Go back to your base. And Prisma's already back at his base. It's kind of how this whole thing works. So, all of the wood, not some of the wood. All of the wood is in the middle between these two. Which is important because other maps we've done at least had some access to wood on the outside. But here, the resources on the outside is food. And it's called Shrubland because I guess these are considered shrubs. I mean, what is that, a lemon? What is that? Is that really a shrub? Do they not want to call it bushland? Bushville? I guess that doesn't sound as cool. I don't know. But certainly plenty of food out there. But then wood's towards the middle. Now, the towers are half range of normal towers, so you can't see players just tower their side of the wood line and hurt the opponent. And Beery gets a little bit too close for comfort, loses some HP on his scout, and Prisma will be very happy about that. Shrubs don't grow fruit or vegetables. Exactly. What are we doing? Why are we calling this a shrub, huh? Is this the shrubs? By the way, these trees, 150 wood per tree. Acacia trees always have 150 wood. That is notable. Which means it will take a lot longer for them to chop through these trees. Which means towers will, at least through the middle, not be an option for some time. So I wonder if there's a possibility for a fast castle here. I feel like archers could be really, really strong, though, for both of these civs. Bohemians get the mining upgrades for free. So rushing up to the next stage makes that... you take advantage of that earlier. Hold on, guys. You came for a small map. You stayed for the Ostrich on the Treadmill. Hardy, can we get an edit for YouTube, please? Can we please add a Treadmill for this Ostrich? Look at it. Appreciate it. Will he continue to do this forever? We don't know, but we can't look away. Okay, we have to look away. There's something happening here. Oh! Doink! Villager's dead. I'm glad we looked away. How did that happen? Beery, down a game in this show match, really wants that Ostrich. If only he knew about this one. This guy's not going anywhere. This Ostrich is used to a normal-sized map, and he's trying to walk over to the other areas of the map. Okay, finally. I thought the Ostrich was going to stay there for a bit. The Prisma, happy to get this thing to move. Where is it going? No, don't kill it yet. What are you doing? We were having so much fun with that Prisma. Come on. All right, well, I'm not normally biased, but I'm rooting for Beery now. Let's see what Beery can do. Again, feels like Beery has a good civ for this. Advancing faster to the next stage with Malay, super strong. They do have good archers, which we have seen the last couple games from these two. Map is maybe not as good for Beery, I must say. Like, the gold is very snug here for Prisma. Whereas the gold is a bit more exposed here for Beery. I almost said for the Argentinian, but they're both from Argentina, so that would have been a dumb statement. Matchlawa, thanks for the 65, my friend. It's been a long time. So, another important aspect. You cannot build on the rock terrain. So you cannot full wall this, which I think we would normally see. It's not a large area, so it's not going to be the biggest gap, but there's still an opening there that archers can run through. This map, there's a lot more food than the previous map, so I think skirmishers could be more viable in the early stages as well. So there's the range for Beery. And Beery trying to push in every single little ostrich. These guys want any edge they can get. Again, that will be helpful, but honestly, you probably shouldn't plan on building a single farm on this map. I think you should just be dropping mills on the shrubs or the berries. I guess the middle's the shrubs. Yeah. Yeah, just take the food that way. See how they execute. There's the archer range for Prisma. I think Prisma's scout is stronger, right? Yeah, and Prisma saw the ostrich moving. Beery knows he's been spotted. These guys are so attentive. It's so good to see how active they are. And they know each other quite well, so I think they might also have a good time with, like, trolling each other and trying to push in the other guy's ostrich. Scout fight? Scout fight? Who wins? Beery wins. And Beery maybe planning on building up some houses over here. Still wants to push in that freaking ostrich. It's a bad day to be an ostrich. I don't think there's any ostriches watching here, but you never know. There's actually, like, and this is a big if this video hits 100,000 views on YouTube, there is a solid enough chance that there is at least an individual who has a pet ostrich watching. And maybe, you know, maybe they're, like, cleaning the ostrich area as they watch the video. Like, maybe an ostrich is hearing this right now. There's a chance. Oh, man, Beery, he really got housed badly here, guys. It's been a long series. Couldn't produce for a minute. His opponent read him like a book and knew it would be an archer opening and opened with skirms. Now he's going to mix in some archers as well, so villagers can go down pretty quickly. Fletching is already in for Prisma. Bohemians have the cheap blacksmith, so that helps. Fletching is coming in for Beery. And Beery is being pushed off the berries right now. But he's going to go push the Bohemian player off of the gold. So, kind of a base trade. And this will lead to awkward situations for both of them. I would say it's probably worse for Beery because these villagers have no way to be saved unless there's some quick wall shenanigans. I think he's just hopped out and he's using the villagers as a distraction. Prisma notices, though, immediately goes for the army. And over here, Prisma still trying to defend. There's a lot of going on right now. Could scouts be an option? I don't think so. I think that, like, you show a scout and they're back at their TC right away. A mix of archer and skirms, that's going to be good against early numbers of scouts. If the map was 3 times larger, I think scouts are more of an option. It's just because everything's so close and because of all the choke points and how awkward it is to maneuver with units, I think that archers is just the easier play here. There's a tower from Beery. Now, he's been on stone for a bit here. Remember, towers have that limited range, but it's still, like, a really good position to make it awkward here for Prisma. And Prisma has brought his army all the way over here, and he can't get any damage in, and Prisma's going to rush this down. This could be awkward for him. There's archers and skirms here. Beery will garrison this tower, and then he has the other vills to repair and fight off. There will be vill losses here. Prisma is trying his best to use the skirms to kill the archers back here. Now, remember, Beery, he could lose all of his vills here as well. So there's that risk. What is this? It's cramped. People spread out. Amazing job from Prisma, actually. He's just sitting out of range of the tower. He does have most of his villagers fighting, but imagine how many villagers he can kill here from Beery. He's going to kill them all. So yet again, feels like the towers have been figured out. Towers have not been that strong the second half of this show match compared to the first. And now a really healthy vill lead. Is that villager trapped? Oh my god, that villager jumped through the trees. To get back, he'd have to build a tower, I guess, and hop in. All right, well, that's going to be a dead vill. This could be a dead vill as well. That villager can't escape. And Beery's in trouble. Beery does not have the food eco that his opponent has. Beery does not have the villagers. Beery does not have the army. He didn't have archers being produced there. And I think Prisma, he's been understanding the meta and countering it. In the previous two games, he'd meant archers because he's like, okay, my opponent's going to rely on some towers. We're going to do a good job with that. And then here he opened skirms. And those skirms have been a real issue for Beery. He was not prepared to make his own skirms. Why aren't they building more stone walls to constrict the enemy? What would stone walls accomplish right now beyond leaving your villagers exposed? I get what you're saying, but since you can't wall at all and the opponent's just going to run through that choke point anyways, I think that the lack of like a full wall makes sense here. At the end of the day, you're going to have army because their army's going to run through the choke point anyways. These buildings do somewhat constrict things, right? And so Beery has to hope that this tower defends him. Prisma sitting underneath the tower. And here we have a counterattack. Counterattack is needed. Counterattack could get a lot of damage. There's a lot of weak vills earlier. He might not have lost the vills then, but a lot of them survived on low HP. And so Beery gets some nice counter damage. Also forces Prisma off of all of that gold. And so, you know, I think... I was just talking about how towers have been figured out. I actually think defensive tower is very nice now. Having the buildings, funneling things in towards the tower on both sides, makes life pretty nice here for Beery. And it's getting to the point now where ranged units can fire over the trees. Yeah. That actually gets really annoying, especially because he just deleted his lumber camp. Let's see. Prisma has all this army, but can he use it? Both players kind of at the limit right now with resources, but Prisma is planning on saving up for Castle Age, I feel like. Beery is not saving up, but Beery is melee, so can still advance up to the next stage pretty quickly. Beery's got to be careful. Low range on TCs, right? Prisma understands. Huh. Oh, wow, that micro was insane. Wow, that micro was nuts. Ooh, and the units keep getting tempted. Still, that is, like, a lot of villagers idle inside of that TC, and they're not working right now. Which I think for Prisma could be fine. He's on the way to Castle Age. He's going more to stone. We're going to see a castle. We're going to see Hussite wagons, aren't we? Remember, Prisma made a castle in, like, the middle of a map that was kind of similar and made Mamelukes in game 2, which is one of my favorite games so far. I think that was game 3, actually. Another tower from Beery, a couple walls for chokes. It holds a really nice position, but it doesn't immediately threaten Prisma. And that's what you want. You want an immediate threat. Prisma, being the Bohemians, will definitely get enough stone to build a castle. There's no question. And then I think he has to delete his mining camp and his lumber camp to place the best possible castle. We'll actually run out of gold in the north, so he may want a castle that somehow ranges this tower, if he can do that. Beery sitting behind the wood line. Oh, man, look how many weak vills are here. Honestly, if things would have gone slightly differently with the tower earlier, and a couple of these attacks, Beery could have killed like 5 or 6 more vills. All right, it's Tetris time. You have the stone for the castle. What's the plan here, Prisma? Where's the castle go? Are you okay with deleting stuff here? He deletes the lumber camp. There he goes. That castle will not be denied. It's going to go up. Ranged units come over here from Prisma. Beery didn't see army, so he's coming to go get kills, but the skirms and the archers were waiting inside the TC. Skirms will chase back the archers. Beery needs to click up. Beery's in big trouble. Prisma's played amazing. He's just figured it out. And he did seem more clueless at the start of this series. If there's ever a civ to recover, it would be the melee. Beery has to click up. But he realizes he's about to lose his tower, and he needs another tower, and oh no. Oh, worst possible timing. Oh, Prisma's right on top of him. And Prisma finding the timings again. And Hussite wagons are really strong. If it's a ranged unit war, Bohemians are great here. So you can make it to Castle Age, Beery, but what can you even do right now? Not a ton. I mean, he's got 5 idols here, 5 archers there, 4 archers, 3 villagers here. Not looking great. Hussite wagons can come into the mix as well. Yeah, Prisma's just, he still have, it's not like he doesn't have food eco. It's not like he doesn't have villagers. He's got plenty. And he's in the zone, dude. Look at that. You could tell there's been this, like, switch for him in his brain where he fully understands how he can maneuver around with the way the towers work now. You'd almost have to watch the full series to get a feel for how the meta has changed a little bit. But the GG's called. We do have one more game. It might be the most interesting one remaining of the map pool. Capture Age won't let me give Prisma the win because it is a full water map next, or at least mainly a water map. But Prisma ends up, quote-unquote, winning the series. But it is a play all 9. We still doing $15 per win, $10 per loss. But that was a really good game from Prisma. I think what Prisma recognized there was everything that I was saying at the start. It's going to be Archer opening. And he opened with Skirms. And then Beery had to like pull off a bunch of resources that Beery didn't know. And then what was cool was, because Skirms can't kill Vills, he had the proper amount of Skirms. And then he switched into Archers right behind it so he can kill Vills. Also, I liked his reaction with this tower. I think Beery was a little distracted there. But the cool thing about that tower was how Prisma just didn't give it too much power. He just avoided. He sat out of range of the tower and pushed Beery's army back. There was a lot of confidence there. A lot of people don't run underneath towers like that because they could lose their armies or their vills. Prisma says, I know this now. I don't care. Love the Bohemian choice too. On a low eco type of game, you're going to toss tons of vills on stone and gold. Getting the free mining upgrades is just so helpful there. So he didn't collect as much food, but he collected tons of gold there, which was just perfect.